We are going from every single piece on the truck being an appliance and an install, and between 200 and 400 pounds, 15 to 16, 17 of them, to delivering batteries, t-shirts, Christmas wreaths. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. All right, today is November 26th. It is a Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving, and it's coming up on 6:15 a.m. Central Time. Right now, we're actually going to swap trucks. I don't know if you caught my last video or not, but I did catch a breakdown last week, and so now we did just get a route for today, but I'm having to switch all our equipment over to another truck because the truck that we had been using is gonna be down for repairs. And so I'm just meeting one of my drivers over at the Lowe store before we head out to our route and get ready to load up. If you're new here, my name is Robert Rayner. I left my full-time mechanical engineering job to go and scale my final mile white glove trucking business. I ended up doing 20 trucks, $10 million in revenue over the course of 6 years, stopped the business, and now I'm rebuilding it from scratch with better systems, better processes, and documenting the entire process along the way. Last week, we are coming off a very long week of running at the XDT. I made the executive decision that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And by that, I'm pretty sure I talked about it in my last video, but just as far as the work overall, the scope of work overall, and the skill level required did not fit the team that I had at this time. It doesn't fit those guys. So before they go and catch a $5,000 claim, I'm pulling them off of the account. And so today we're still running with Lowe's and with Spirit Logistics, but it's a back of the store route. So if you know nothing about this industry, XDT for Lowe's, I think it stands for Cross Dock Terminal. But basically it is where all of the appliances for all of Middle Tennessee, wherever your area is, it's where all the appliances are delivered from. So basically every single truck in there is 13 to 16 appliances. No, I'm sorry, 13 to 16 stops. And all appliances, typically installing every single one. And so last week, so with that, the scope of work, how fast you have to move and how quickly you have to install without any errors, without any damages, without any errors, also being able to satisfy the customer and do all the little things in between. It is a skilled trade. Those people who talk about claims, it's people who got into this line of work, the XDT, a skilled trade, and didn't know what they're signing up for. Do not think you can just come up the street and start running 15 stops in one day. You're gonna get killed with claims, one, because you're not gonna know what the heck you're doing, how to uninstall a refrigerator, how to butterfly it, and how to get it delivered without any dents or scratches. And two, if you don't finish your route, you're gonna get charged with drop stops. You're gonna get charged with $100 per drop stop, per stop you don't finish. And so those people you hear, oh, claims, you're scared about claims. Though that's what you're hearing about. You're more than likely hearing about XDT accounts and people who jumped into it. Again, it is a skilled trade. People who jumped into it and didn't know what they're signing up for. If you're looking, and I'm not saying don't go for it. I'm just saying if you are looking to go for XDT work, be ready to start with baby routes. You're gonna be running probably like 10 to 12 stops a day, probably not making a whole lot of money, but that's so you can get your feet wet and get your speed up and get your rhythm and get your system going for in the truck. It's very much so doable. From a number standpoint, it makes more sense than anything else. But I'm here at the trucks now. Let me go and get these trucks ready. I'm gonna hurry at the trucks. It's good that I came out here. My driver, he's actually warming up the other truck right now. I don't know if he remembers the issues we had with it last week, but yeah, we're not using that truck. We're gonna be using this one. So all I'm about to do right now is take all of our equipment off of the truck that has issues and put it on this one, and then we're gonna head to our Lowe's store. We're actually at a Lowe's store right now, but we're not doing deliveries for this one. We're doing deliveries for another store at West Nashville, probably like 10, 15 minutes from here. So we're about to just load up and head that way. And this truck actually has more than issues than just the check engine lights. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. but also just caught and remembered this from last week. And yeah, you can see my reel done popped off. All it needs is a pop rivet put in right up there. And I kept on using this little screw because it happened in the middle of our route. And so I had to keep popping that in because this kept happening while we were out on the route. And if you wonder what it's supposed to look like, that's what it's supposed to look like. Sitting straight across the top, right up there. But that's that. So I'm gonna do this again, make this upright, and then I'm gonna show you too the dash, everything that popped up, because we had windshield wipers go out too last week. All right, so we just got everything loaded up into this truck. I'm about to go ahead and show you real quick what happened last week. It was ugly. But yeah, so I had all 3 of these check engine lights pop up. In the midst of that, it started raining. Windshield wipers would only work on high, just like that. Other than that, nothing. So that was a blessing that they still at least worked because it was raining that day. And then at the top of this screen right here, actually if I were to start the truck up, it would say engine shutdown in progress. So yeah, it was a hell of a day. It was a hell of a day. We ended up finishing at 9 o'clock that night. Finished late. Truck issues, truck stuff. It was just a hell of a day. But yeah, also when I had to make the executive call and decision, because again, I can handle stuff like that, still get the route done. But can I put my guys too? Do I want to put them through stuff like that? No. Is that XDT route sustainable? No. But let me go ahead and send my driver off. I'm gonna meet him over at the store because he might be running by himself today. We're gonna see. But just switched all the stuff over. And my driver, he about to go fill up, get some diesel. We're gonna meet at the store. I'm headed to Walmart right now just to grab some diesel exhaust fluid, because I think all the gas stations over there only have diesel at the pump. But yeah, I just ran through the route with him a little bit because I took a look at the route earlier this morning. And I can't make it up. We got DeWalt batteries. One of the stops was a Christmas wreath. Another one stop was a daggone long sleeve t-shirt. This is for the back of the store route. And so again, just the differences between the scopes of work for the 2 accounts. The XDT is a skilled trade. Give me a second, let me go get this DEF. But yeah, it's something else. And he was geeked to run that route today. He looking so forward to running that route today. To see him smiling and laughing and ready to run this route, I know it's the right decision. Because it ain't nothing like it either too when you walk into the XDT and you see 6 refrigerators, 7 refrigerators, and you just know you're gonna have a long day. It kills the morale, and it's just not sustainable work, to me, in my opinion. If you didn't figure out how to run them routes and keep guys long-term and pay them well and not get your body wrecked, hey, let me know how, because the appliances gotta get moved by somebody. Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one now.
You as well.
Thank you. But yeah, the appliances gotta get delivered by somebody. And it's gonna be your body that's moving them. So, figuring that out though. But that's why I'm at the point now, like I said, where I'm just picky about accounts. What's sustainable? What can I really grow and build a business around? And the XDT is doable, and the money makes sense. The numbers are great, but also be ready for turnover. Be ready for high turnover, because it's just a lot of work, guys. Anybody who hasn't done that work before, I wouldn't even recommend doing it for them, unless you got guys that are really, really committed and want to go out and see it through. I wouldn't even recommend it for anybody. It's a skilled trade. The same way you go to school to be an apprentice, whether it be for an electrician or a plumber, that is what XDT work is. Like, it is months of product knowledge. You got to know everything. I wouldn't say everything, but you got to know, you basically have to know the assembly and installation of multiple appliances and many different brands. It's not just GE. It's not just LG. You're dealing with Samsung, Electrolux. Like, there's just so much to it, and you have to know, because you have to get 15 stops done in a day, the speed is a huge factor. So you have to go in kind of knowing how the stuff is assembled and put together and be able to break it down and put it back together very, very quickly. And again, people just don't come off the street knowing that stuff. And I could have kept the guys there and kept training them, but that wasn't the most valuable thing to do of my time, especially when I know there's other accounts out there that we can go for. And so that's why I made the switch to the Riverstone Logistics account we've got doing furniture. And so looking forward to that. But yeah, definitely just had to talk about that XDT work. Lowe's XDT versus Lowe's back of the store. Also from a business standpoint, just the risk analysis with this route today, with it being back of the store. I can't make it up. There are 0 appliances on this route. There are 0 appliances on this route. And you could even think like, oh, okay, it's got cabinets, it's got hot water heaters, it's got, you know, stuff that might require 2 men. No, I checked the whole entire route. I'm seeing stuff like, again, Christmas wreaths. One of the deliveries today is a Carhartt long sleeve t-shirt. Make that make sense. A Carhartt long sleeve t-shirt coming on a box truck delivery. Can't make this stuff up. But am I complaining about it? No. But the crazy part too though, is that these routes will pay similar pay. That's the scary part. The way these contracts are set up, and obviously the pay can differ depending on your city, but the pay is going to be very similar today. This is a one-man job, and you'd probably be done in about 6 to 8 hours versus 2 men, and we worked like 14 hours last Friday. But that's just the way this stuff is. Just the way this stuff is. But again, coaching myself at this point, keep running these guys at the XDT. They're gonna get burnt out. We're gonna catch a claim. Which one's gonna happen first? Or you can forget all of that and put them on a sustainable account. And so what do? But these are things that I've learned over the years. This is the stuff I've learned after being in the game 6 going on 7 years. You move strategic. This is also after I have paid, Lord knows, probably a few $100,000 in claims over the course of 6 years. Again, the people who win in Final Mile White Glove are the ones who know how to reduce their risk. Reduce your risk and avoid losses. That is how you win at Final Mile White Glove. That is what I figured out how to do. That's how I've been able to get in the position that I'm in right now. And it will pay off. It will pay off. But you learn how to do that, you'll be successful. Let's head out here. Put this DEF in this truck. Put this DEF in here. Something else has actually got me thinking about while I'm getting gas right here is the psychology of things too. How geeked up my driver was about how easy this route was. And it's got me thinking, people who ran the XDT, because the work is so strenuous, you really, really appreciate back of the store work. Basically any other account. XDTs are some of the highest risk and highest skilled accounts I have ran. You might not be installing oil-range microwaves and dishwashers, but they make up for it with the extra 2 to 3 stops of washers, dryers, refrigerators, and stoves. And so that's what just makes it so grueling. Usually accounts that have, I'm not gonna lie, Home Depot accounts usually do pack trucks too. I'm not even gonna lie. But it's got me thinking, I used to even do it. I would start guys off at the XDT on purpose and then move them to another account just because they see the worst of the worst when they work there. And so any account's better and easier, no matter what it is. But the psychology too of the work and the guys. But I'm excited about the switch. Definitely looking forward to running this back of the store route today. My guy's gonna make some really good money because he's getting paid the driver and helper pay because he's probably gonna be running by himself. He won't even need me for the route. But the other guy had called out because he's got some emergency stuff he had to take care of. But again, that too, the fact that these routes can be ran by themselves. So if somebody calls out, it's not even that big of a deal. Versus XDT route, somebody call out, you paying $1,000 for that drop route. There's no way people run those routes by themselves. But again, these are the things you won't know until you start going through it and experiencing it firsthand. And why I will advise anybody, I can train people on the XDT routes. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. But again, I'll advise anybody, if you're just getting started, even if you're already in the business, you probably already know it. If you're in the space, you know how XDT work is. And again, you can train guys, train them how to do it and stuff, but just know what you're signing up for. Know what you're signing up for, know the risks. That's the stuff people don't talk about in this business, is the risk associated with it all. XDT is very high risk, and the juice just to me is not worth the squeeze. But right now, I'm about to go ahead and head to our Lowe store that we're working out of so I can get my guy loaded and off the dock and we can carry on with the day. Okay, and so one of my guys did end up coming through. We got another helper we were actually onboarding, and I called him last night to see if he could work. And these guys get so used to certain things, one of them being same day pay. And this is just, we're not doing that over here. I used to do that stuff to try to get guys, but it messes up the business because the contracts, it messes up your cash flow. The contracts don't pay for 3 weeks. You're gonna go a 3-week gap from when you run that first truck to when you finally see a penny from running that very first route. It's gonna be a 3-week gap. And so to pay somebody same day pay when you're not gonna see that money for weeks can definitely disrupt your cash flow. And that's why I don't do it. But do the guys know that? No. Do they have contractors who probably do it for them and do it to them? That's the only reason they know about it and ask for it. And it's just not something I do anymore. Unless I'm just exactly that, hurting so bad, super desperate, need somebody. But I'm just not even in that position, again, because he could run the route by himself today. And I knew that. I figured this was going to happen. And so I didn't think he was going to show up. But sure enough, again, and when you set the standard, when you set the expectation, guys can either get with it or get lost. And so, of course, you know, with him wanting to get started ASAP, he was fine with it. He jumped on board. He showed up this morning. And so now I'm about to meet both of them over at our Lowe store location to get loaded up and hit the road. But knowing how to navigate this business, if you're not an owner-operator, I just saw somebody actually drop a comment in the school community. If you are not looking to be an owner-operator in the sense of be in your truck every day and just run your one truck with your helper, be ready to deal with people. You are in the people business. This business is so heavy on people, between your drivers and helpers, the 3PL logistics companies, the customers that your guys are delivering to. It's just so heavy on people. You have to be able to be ready to deal with people, and also just the psychology of people and how they think. But repercussions are always a big one. Incentives for your guys is always a big one. Because for them, yeah, it makes the business look good, but what's in it for them? And you can't blame them. They're there to make money. But you have to figure out how to make your business be oriented around what they want. So if you in your business, you want clean trucks, incentivize your guys for cleaning the trucks, or give them repercussions for not keeping the truck clean. Don't just ask someone, hey, I need you guys to keep the trucks clean and expect it to happen. That stuff will never work. No different than getting surveys, getting good customer survey scores. Figure that out and your business will thrive. But outside of that, yes, we will have 2 men on the truck today. So if anybody is with Spirit Logistics and you're watching this, no, I did not run a single man on the truck. I know y'all don't care anyway. Y'all just want the route done with no issues and no headaches. And that's what I'm gonna do every time. Whether it's 1 man, 2 men, we're gonna get the route covered. We're gonna get it ran. We're gonna get everything delivered. Have happy customers every single time. Y'all ain't gotta worry about that. But I do gotta put that in there because I know they feel some type of way when you run one man on the truck. But it's so much stuff that go on in this industry to make this, to make these customers happy. Y'all don't even know the half of it. Some of the stuff I went through last week and just go through on a regular basis anyway. But we better pull up to the store now, and I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna show you just how sweet this route really is, because there's nothing quite like it. We are going from every single piece on the truck being an appliance and an install, and between 200 and 400 pounds, 15 to 16, 17 of them, to delivering batteries, t-shirts, Christmas wreaths. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. And so we're pulling up to our second Lowe's location of the day. Okay, so we're in the back of the store at Lowe's now, and you're gonna get a chance to see this route. Just take a look at this route. Looking at cabinets, fire pit, a toilet, some cabinets and vanities, and that's really about it. But just the difference in the scope of work between the back of the store locations and the XDT. The guys are pulling up with the truck now. We're gonna get loaded, strap everything in, and head out for the day. Got the guys pulling in now. But yeah, just the difference in the work. So we got, of course, a DeWalt power drill and battery sets, some Christmas wreaths, a grill, some shower doors, a toilet, a fireplace, looks like more shower doors, some cabinets, and then some PVC piping. Not one appliance is on this delivery route, and this is why it can be done by one person versus absolutely required two people. One person can definitely easily do this job. Two makes it a lot easier and smoother, but it can be done. But again, just the difference in the scope of work and what you can expect when you're working the XDT versus the back of the store routes. You're getting to see it firsthand right here. And so now we are headed home. Got the guys off the dock. And like I said too, that kind of route, I don't even need to ride behind them or anything, because it's just such an easy route, such easy work. And that is what this business looks like. And so there I have one truck, and now I'm about to go home and plot and map out trying to get the next one. And that's how you just rinse and repeat it. But again, how the business can shape and shift, and how you can also go into things thinking you have it all figured out, and you really don't. You learn as you go. But with me, obviously, I'm not at the point where I'm really learning anything new. I'm just applying all of my years of knowledge and experience in this industry, running this business, to go and do it again, but better. Not faster, just better. Because it's a long-term game, running a business. And that's where I would say too, why I was so focused on XDTs before, because I was on a sprint. I had a sprint mentality in my business. And that's why I did end up getting extremely burnt out. This time around, we're moving very strategic. I just got married, got a baby on the way, and I'm coming up on 30 years old. I have no reason to be rushing. Everything from this point on is strategic and long-term. And so, yes, I am thinking about possibly having this be a family business. And so how can I make it sustainable? If this is something I want to be able to possibly pass on down to my son 20 years from now. But Again, just going at the business very different than what I have the last 6 years. And like I said too, I said it in one of my other videos, these are some of the best years that Final Mile White Glove is gonna get out of me. And so now I am headed home to get started. Again, like I said, I'm plotting on more business stuff between my coaching business and plotting on more trucks and getting more trucks going and started. Giving my assistants to figure out what recruiting looks like, getting with the 3PL companies to see if we got any more guys compliant in the system, checking Indeed and seeing what kind of recruits and applicants we have. But that's really it for the day. And of course, if anything else pops up, I'll catch it on video. But if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed everything I just showed you, of course, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe just to enjoy the journey and the process that I'm taking you on. If you need help growing and scaling your Final Mile White Glove business, whether it be systems, recruiting guys, you're having trouble with your drivers and helpers, you can't keep good guys, you can't hire good guys, or you can't even find contracts. But if you feel stuck in your business, be sure to hit the links in the descriptions. There's gonna be plenty of resources down there. Hit the links in the description, join the Final Mile Hustle, and welcome to the channel. Peace.